Hey, and welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Journey Beyond podcast. Today, we embark on a transformative journey, another transformative journey, a journey into the profound and subtle art of saying no. It's not merely a refusal or a form of rejection, no, but it's a powerful declaration of your boundaries, a safeguarding of your sacred space, and an important step in crafting your authentic being. It is as well a super crucial step in the path of self-love that we have uncovered and traveled through over the extent of the last couple of episodes and last couple of weeks that we have been through together. As we explore the facets of saying no, we will unveil how this tiny yet super powerful word no can elevate your confidence, nurture authenticity, and fortify the sacred space within us. So as we step into the realm of recognizing our limits, let's start with step number 1, the most important one, and the subtle art of saying no. Recognizing your limits. So recognizing your limits is akin to understanding the canvas upon which you paint your life. As Mark Manson, one of my favorite authors, by the way, and the best-selling author of the books The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck and Everything is Fucked, the continuation of the first book, wisely notes, the ability to let that which does not matter truly slide is the key to being in control of your own destiny. This recognition is not selfish. It's an act of self-awareness and authenticity at its highest core. So consider a scenario now where overcommitting to something, to a friend, to an action, to whatsoever led you to a burnout, a real social burnout. This is a simple reminder that understanding our limits is not just practical. It should be an essential act of self-love and, most importantly, respect for yourself. So, to put a little practical aspect into the whole part of this, let's reflect on your daily actions and your daily commitments. Are there any areas in your life right now where you can set realistic boundaries? Identify at least one of these areas in your life and where acknowledging your limits can bring a sense of relief and balance to it. It is important to understand what your limits are, because if you're not aware of your limits, it is so easy to get trapped in that whirlwind of commitments, of weekly actions, of social commitments that you always say yes to because you don't want to miss out. The typical fear of missing out, short FOMO, is, I would say, now as prevalent as it has never been before. You know, the skill of saying no is not only saying no to your friends, but it's saying no to that FOMO. It's saying that I actually have other priorities and I prioritize myself and my own space right now. And I think that's, my friends, is like a true commitment to yourself, a true and the truest form of authentic beingness. So, practical steps to implement. Saying no gracefully is an art form, and the canvas is your interpersonal landscape. So embracing uncertainty is the starting point. The more you try to be certain about something, the more uncertain and secure you will feel. Which means being assertive yet kind is the brushstroke that paints these boundaries on your canvas. As we navigate the skills, let's remember a saying attributed to Paulo Coelho, actually my favorite author, who wrote my absolute number 1 favorite book, The Alchemist. When you say yes to others, make sure you are not saying no to yourself. A simple, I appreciate the offer, but I can't commit to that right now, can be a super powerful assertion of your boundaries. Because it's about being firm yet compassionate in your declinations. It's not about going up to your friends and them asking you for a night out and you screaming at them being like, no, fuck you, get away from me. No, it's just simply stating, I appreciate your offer, but I prefer having some me time. I feel like my batteries are empty and like they need to recharge. So thank you for your offer. I would love to get back to it in the next weeks to come, but now it's really time for me. So with the practical steps in place, and with the understanding that saying no is not cutting out friends, but rather prioritizing your own worth and your own time, let's confront the emotional aspect of this that often accompanies saying no. Emotions often intertwine with the acts of saying no. The belief of the desire for more positive experience is itself a negative experience. And paradoxically, the acceptance of one's negative experience is itself a positive experience beautifully encapsulates the emotional paradox of saying no. It's common to feel a tinge of guilt or shame, but let's be real right now. The truth of saying no is a profound act of self-respect. It's about prioritizing our needs and recognizing that we can't be everything to everyone. This emotional dance is a universal one, and sharing the wisdom of authors like Brené Brown or Paulo Coelho or Mark Manson, who champions vulnerability, can illuminate the path to self-compassion, which is another form of self-love and another form of authentic beingness, which this entire podcast and this entire journey is all about. Unraveling the different layers of what you are standing for and what you actually means. So the next time you feel guilty for saying no, write down the emotions that you're feeling at that moment. Acknowledge them without any judgment. It's a step towards self-compassion, and trust me, over the long run, it's a form of self-love which should be practiced on a regular basis. So now that we navigated the emotional landscapes, let's explore the long-term benefits that saying no brings into our lives. In the long run, saying no is not just a refusal. It's your declaration of self-worth. Again, as Mark Manson beautifully states it, the key to a good life is not giving a fuck about more, it's giving a fuck about less. Giving a fuck about only what is true and immediate and important to you. So saying no sets a precedent for how you expect to be treated. And as someone who values themselves, this precedent should be, again, your main priority. Because if you have people in your surrounding that like jumping around on your respect and that like taking you for granted and knowing that you will always say yes to everything, say to them, fuck you. This is my time to shine. And this is the energy that I'm investing into myself right now. I'm setting my boundaries and I'm setting the limits to my life right now. And you are crossing these limits right now. So, again, saying no sets a precedence for how you expect to be treated. It strengthens your form of self-love and self-respect. And more importantly, or most importantly, it strengthens the form of respect that other people have towards you. And they start valuing you differently, more or less. So reduced stress, better self-care, and even healthier relationships are the fruits of this empowering practice. In my personal life, it shifted everything from me. It helped me to rebuild and build better relationships. It helped me to let go of the ever-going people-pleasing aspect, and it gave me back the control over my own life. I really felt at a certain point that I could say no to certain things that I just wasn't aligned with, right? But when it came to my closest friends, when it came to helping or mediating situations, for finding solutions, even though I was at a complete low point, I could not say no. I could not get involved. I always had to be involved, even though my cup was less than half full, even though I should have spent time with myself, even though I, should definitely not have involved myself, but I just didn't know how to do it any better, right? So you start to then navigate, once you get back this control of your life with intention prioritizing your values and well-being and unlocking a part of yourself that you are not even fully aware of yet. So the benefits of saying no ripples through your entire existence, shaping your life and bringing you back to a sense of authenticity and purpose. Another side note that you could and you should implement for your life, and you should, try to practice and do on a daily basis or on a regular basis, is start creating a no list. And no lists are aspects of your life where you will confidently say no to. Let it be your friends asking you to go out again this Friday, even though you wanted to spend some time at home cleaning. Let it be your working colleagues who want to catch a drink after work, even though you wanted to hit the gym and stay true to your commitments. Let it be your best friend who wants to go on a weekend trip, even though you committed to recording this podcast episode. Right? It's those small but incremental things that make the difference. So work on this list, extend it, and witness how it will transform your daily experiences and interactions with people. To encapsulate our journey, and again, I promised, in the very first episode, I want to keep episodes short, easy to listen to, so you can snack them on your way to work, on your way home, on your way on the treadmill, just warming up, right? Like, the interviews are the big and long ones that I love to take time in, because it's about the person that I'm interviewing and not about me. But when it comes to these solo episodes, I love to make them short and juicy. And I'm trying my best, okay? I'm trying my best. I'm working myself down from like 40 minutes to 20 minutes to hopefully at some point 10 or less, so you can just digest it much, much easier. So as we conclude our exploration into the art of saying no, remember this. Each no is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life, creating a masterpiece of authenticity, your authenticity. And to summon up this wisdom in my own words, the key to being happy is knowing you have the power to choose what to accept and what to let go. I repeat, the key to being happy is knowing you have the power to choose what to accept and what to let go. Saying no is an affirmative choice, a step towards a more authentic, self-respecting you. So this week, I challenge you. Say no to something that doesn't serve you and see what happens. It's a step towards a more authentic and self-respecting you. Remember, each time you say no to something that doesn't align with your values, you are saying yes to yourself. So let's take a moment to reflect on one area in your life where saying no can align you more closely with your authentic being. Implement it and notice the positive shift in your in your health and your well-being. So as we draw now the curtains on today's episode, a very short one, I'm happy, I encourage you to delve deeper into the wisdoms that I shared. Books like, for example, Mark Manson's book, or books, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and part 2, the continuation of it, Everything is Fucked, are a great transformative tool and read that aligns with our exploration of self-love through saying no. And to be very honest with you guys, the books, Mark Manson's books, he has an incredible way of writing. Very honest, very down to the ground, and just a complete savage at writing and explaining things just as they are, bluntly as they are. I absolutely love reading them. And trust me, once you get into his mind and into his way of writing and you understand what he's saying, it will turn you into a little savage as well, hopefully. So if you resonated with today's episode and insights, share your experiences, reflections, or questions. Let's build actually together a community that values the authenticity of each journey beyond the ordinary. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe for more transformative episodes like these and those to come. And if you really want to make me happy, and if you really want to make my day, please make sure to leave your honest review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or YouTube, and leave me here a 4 or 5 star rating, because it truly helps to push this platform and this podcast to other people out there. And it just shows me your form of appreciation, that you like what you're hearing and you would actually, refer this to somebody else out there. And if you haven't yet, if you have any questions, if you wanna have more infos like that, make sure to connect with me on Instagram. My handle is The Journey Beyond Podcast. And remember, each time you say no to what doesn't serve you, you're saying a powerful fuck yes to yourself. And with these last words being said, I will see you in the next one.